Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts Brandon, Collin, and Aaron. On this week's show, more gooder news. Hello.
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 Hello. Ah, there we go. Things are working now. Okay, we're good.
Huzzah.
Excellent. We love working things.
I have a deep, sincere apology to make.
Oh.
On the episode that was released under the title Explain Rock-a-Doodle, I read the incorrect title on the intro of the show.
Whoa.
I am very
You
sorry.
did. I noticed that. I wasn't going to say anything,
I'm very sorry for this.
but it's okay.
Well, my wife, whom I love, brought it to my attention immediately. And, and I said, I know, I record that part and I use the title that I write down during the show. But when I finished editing the show, I realized that there was a much better title to be had.
That's true. There was.
And, but I forgot to go back and do the whole intro thing again. So
re-record that. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Anyway,
it's all right. We don't mind.
It's not okay.
Keen-eared listeners, it is too late to write in and let me know. You a golden ticket on the line and you missed it. So anyway.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So about it. About all. Other than that,
Well,
yeah. I mean, there's more than that.
Colin's week ruined. That's other than that. How's everyone else doing?
Ruined. Gonna be over here sitting quietly this time. Man, we got a lot of rain today. A lot. I don't know about y'all.
We got some. I would qualify it as a bit of rain.
Okay.
Not too much.
I have a question for you. When I say the phrase "tut tut," you
looks like rain.
Obviously, it looks like rain.
Right. Okay.
Clearly.
Duh. The only right answer.
Are we the only people who say this?
We cannot be the only three people in the history of the world that have seen Winnie the Pooh. That can't be. That cannot be accurate. So I know for a fact Susan does.
Okay.
So it's fine.
I was like, I said that today with some at work. We were walking out and loading up the truck because we were just finishing up some survey training, and I said, "Whoa, tut tut!" And both my boss and my coworker turned to me and said, "What'd you say?" And I was like,
"Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm used to the people that I work with looking at me like I'm an insane person. So like that's not that's not abnormal, really."
And I was like, well, anyway. So I just thought I'd
I mean, I guess maybe they don't recall the excellence of Winnie the Pooh as adults. So maybe that's it. They don't remember.
So we are talking about the amazing Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree from 1966. So
yeah, I would say it's 19 old. I don't remember when that came out.
Old. But yes. Made me very happy.
Maybe does he not say that in the newer incarnations of the cartoon?
I don't think
Does he only say it in the ancient VHS tapes that we had?
Yes, because he says that in relation to him being the little black rain cloud. Right? That's why he says it.
So it's only in that context. He never says it again?
I don't believe so.
Oh, it's not like a recurring catchphrase like T.I. double gut or something like that. Like it only says it one time.
I really don't think so.
Then we might be the only ones that remember that. I thought I have not seen any other Winnie the Pooh movie. There was that one I've seen those old cartoons and then that like one movie from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that constitutes my Winnie the Poohness. I watched Winnie the Pooh when I was very, very young. Super into it. And then I watched it with you guys when you were also very young.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of didn't anymore. Because there is a certain age ceiling on Winnie the Pooh, right? You know, and then yeah. You can still like appreciate it, but you don't like continually watch it when you're my age, probably. So, I mean, maybe somebody out there does. Good for you. Not me, though.
I mean, apparently on November 29th, 2018, Pooh at Disney WT Pooh on Twitter tweeted, "Tut tut, it looks like rain."
You see, it's on Twitter, so everybody should know about it.
Everybody.
That's how Twitter works.
I need to follow this account.
See, so other people do know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just slightly more obscure than I initially reckoned. I think that might be.
Same. I thought, oh, Winnie the Pooh, everybody's going to know about this. But the more I'm realizing this, it was like, no, it was just from a short story movie from.
Yeah, I thought it was part of the character. I thought he said that along with. It was like tut tut. It looks like rain and honey. That was like his defining character traits.
One would think.
Get stuck in hole. That's like
period. No,
yeah, that sounds about right.
Nope. Turns out it's just Pooh and the Honey Tree, which we watched recently. Because the kids, obviously, if you're going to watch.
I was going to say you have small children, so it's fair.
But yeah, I have. Again, it's one of those things that from movies, I have no idea why that phrase stuck with me forever.
It just does,
right?
I don't know, because it stuck with me too. So it must be there must be something about it,
or it's so kind of.
Speaking of updates,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to segue out of this for a minute because I don't think we got a proper update last week on Shelby's reaction to Rockadoodle.
Oh, we did not get a chance to watch it.
Okay.
We watched a movie though, but it was so long ago that I honestly don't remember like what else we did. So we did not get. So oh wait, no, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Still incoming.
She did get a chance to watch it. We did not get a chance to watch the other movies.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we did watch it. It was not a miss, but definitely a
like a
yeah. Like she's like, oh, that was different, and I was like, yeah, different's good, right? So
the word you're looking for is amazing. That's what you want to say. So all right.
So she didn't hate it. So by definition, that's a win.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a win for sure.
And so she actually liked it. It was definitely different. And like when I was watching it, and I was like, oh, this is a lot more different than I remember.
Maybe this actually was a mistake.
Yeah. So she actually did like it. But we did not get a chance to watch any of the other films. Which was slightly heartbreaking, but at the same time, the weekend just kind of got away from us, and everything was just incredibly busy. So we did not get a chance to watch anything else. But she did watch Rockadoodle. I did pay like $3 off of Amazon. I was like, no, this is happening. Like we have to watch this. Yeah. So it was worth it. So that did happen. Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Keep us updated if any further progress is made on the list, because I'm
absolutely
on that.
Yes.
Hopefully it goes better than my attempt. Me and Susan did try to sit down and watch 13th Warrior the other day, and she totally fell asleep. So I don't know if that... I forgot in that movie that like it is like the least exposition heavy movie ever, because half like you know the main guy's name, and that's it. You don't like, they very rarely refer to each other by name. Like they just are talking, and they never say like, hey, Jim, or like whatever,
Right.
or whatever Viking name, insert Viking name here. They just like yell things like, go to the door. And they go. So you're like, who's that? So they're all very discernible by their visual appearance. There's like long-haired braid guy, breastplate guy, guy in black that hides in a tree. Like there's a face tattoo guy. Like you get guy that can actually talk to Antonio Banderas. Like you get, like you don't even know their names. Just like whatever.
Those guys, yeah.
So, yeah, it's in storytelling, it's definitely interesting. And the movie is also way darker than I remember, like physically darker. Like there's no light in the movie.
Well, because most of it's like this, literally like the latter half of that movie, like they're in a cave.
Well, yeah, and a lot of all that, like the first major like action scene is at night. And then the other major action scene is at night. And so, because the bad guys only attack at night.
Huh. See a theme here.
So I was like, oh, yeah, it is dark. Literally. Not like.
Literally.
I mean, a little bit metaphorically, too, right?
No,
I also forgot that was based off a Michael Crichton book. Did not remember that.
Really?
Yeah. It's based off of, yes.
Huh.
Eaters of the Dead. Apparently by Michael Crichton.
Oh.
Did not know that. Or, more accurately, forgot that. I think is more. Yeah, that's
more appropriate. Yes,
that's more appropriate.
Very real about this.
Yeah, just forgot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she once watched it again because she was liking it until we were very tired, and so she just like fell asleep. So that's definitely not a hard no either. But again, didn't get to the end. So
right, there's next time.
There is next time. I also this week randomly found on YouTube that you can watch for free Galaxy Quest.
What?
Hey, yeah.
It's one of their movies. It's like free. It just has ads in it a bunch.
Huh.
So it's just like watching on TV with commercials, and you could definitely watch Galaxy Quest.
Well,
I was like, cool. Oh my gosh, I'm stopping everything and watching this right now.
YouTube sometimes does that for like they'll have like random movies on there, and they're like, "Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, this is what you're playing."
I also might have watched a forgotten gem, Shaolin Soccer. Oh yeah.
Hey,
great
movie.
Oh man, that. So
good. No shame.
Forgotten gem.
Zero shame.
Oh, I forgot how much I liked that movie.
Great. Great movie.
How would you summarize Shaolin Soccer? Go ahead. Just
Kung Fu guy, down on his luck Kung Fu guy, meets up with disgraced soccer legend, forms a soccer team with his Kung Fu brethren, defeats, their literal name is Team Evil, to win the soccer cup. Using their Kung Fu skills.
Very key to the plot there.
That's so good.
There is Kung Fu.
It's so good. Wow, it's the silliest thing ever. I love it so much. I definitely watched that on Sunday. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It just on. It just recommended it to me. I was like, yes. Why?
You know me so
yes,
well.
Of course I'm going to watch this. Why would I not watch this? Oh my goodness.
Yay. You have definitely forgotten movie gem, one of the classics.
Oh man, I like the movie so much. It's so great. I can't remember the name of the other one that he's in. Stephen Chow is in that movie. He's like the main guy.
Oh, it's like, other movie, like, is that Kung Fu Hustle?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
that movie is
remember that one.
So good. I did not appreciate that movie the first time I watched it.
Shocking.
The first time I watched it, I was like, "What?
What am I watching?
The heck was that?" And then the second time I watched it, I was like, this is so great. So it took a second viewing for me to fully appreciate the glory that is Kung Fu Hustle.
Time I watched it. It was
it's just pure gold on that time. It's so good. So I'm trying to find that one because I like that movie.
Definitely something.
It's great. It made me so happy. So I did that. So enough about my watching habits this week. What has everyone else been up to?
Sure. Yeah. Airman.
What has Aaron been up to? So today was pretty much like all it was like an all day training day. And so it was kind of nice because I didn't have to work, but I had to be in training all day. And it's mostly going over in any state agency, there's always some sort of out of date system that they're like, why do we use this? Well, because that's what we've always had. Yes, but why? I don't know. That's just what we've always had. So
because everyone knows how to use it and it works good enough. Done.
Yes. So there is a system that we use in the state that it's kind of like, imagine DOS, but like way more complicated to use.
So DOS.
And so yeah, so DOS. So it's this system that it's really funny to listen to IT people talk about it. It's like, well, this is just something that we've had since like the 90s. I'm like, okay. And like, well, the people who were with the state no longer work for the state. And so we don't know how to change anything. So like, oh, so you just kind of this is just how life has been forever. And they're like, yes. So we had to relearn how to use it because it can be helpful. Like we're trying to locate somebody or, find like all other alternatives to help people. We use this system, like we could type in name, social securities, like stuff like that. See if like for, if they're getting any state assistance but it is a very, I need to go to the next page. Button, ka-chunk. And then it like changes. I'm like, well, I can't use the mouse. Let me, I have to scroll down, quote unquote, and I have to press like function and then like a different button and like the cursor moves.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
the page, I have to use the page down button. It doesn't exist on modern computers.
That like we have to do that. And it's like, do we have anything, I don't know, nicer? And they're like, nope. Like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. So that was pretty much the gist of training today, which was kind of nice because again, it is sort of helpful. But like when you're reading through things, you're like, there's like 1,000 easier ways to do this, but I'll play nice, whatever, blah blah blah. And then there was like some protocol stuff that we went over, and so we were in there from about 9 this morning to 1-ish, and then we're the only district in the state to like get certain numbers. I don't know what they're basing off of, and so our supervisor and our district director took us to pizza. But when I say like, we get a pizza party, my first thought was we're gonna get like
third grade
3 like just cheese pizzas and like old flat Coke. No, they took us to Andolini's, which if you don't know what that is, you need to Google that real quick because it is.
Which I don't.
Oh, so it is phenomenal pizza. Like it is so good, and it's pretty fancy, pretty bougie. Not gonna lie, but it is so good. And because when they said pizza party, I was thinking like, they're taking us to like Pizza Hut, and we get off of the lunch, the buffet. Like no, they took us to Andolini's, where an average pizza is like $15-$20 of like a good sized pizza, and it's really nice. It's really fancy. It's so good. So, and then I got home about like 2:30 today, and like no one worked. They're like, yeah, just go home and do what you can, and just see you tomorrow. And I'm like, thank you.
Well, okay.
Because I was not in a condition to function working because it was full, but it was really good. It was worth it.
Ate too much pizza.
Right. Yeah. And so that's kind of what my day consisted of. Work wise, Shelby and myself also celebrated our. At this point, numbers don't really mean a thing, but it's kind of cool to look back off of our 16 months together.
Well, hey.
And so we did. We worked out and hung out, and that was kind of about it. Because we're like, oh yay, I love you, yay, let's just sit here and do nothing. Like, oh, perfect. So it was a much
and watch Fern Gully. Oh yeah,
we did not watch Fern Gully. And then so that's kind of been the main crux of my week of, oh, I'm typing things. Oh, I have to go do this. Oh, I'm typing more things. Oh, I'm eating pizza. Perfect.
Nice.
A few weeks from now, we will actually be home. It's like the weekend of like the 23rd or something. It is the Cherry Blossom Festival. In Marshfield. And
those are very different places, but also what?
Yeah, I know. But so yeah, there is an festival that we will be attending up in that region. There's a Laura Ingalls Wilder
Marshfield
person that's coming to Marshfield. Yeah, Marshfield. That's coming to speak to it. And
oh yes, Shelby is an enthusiast. She does love her some Laura Ingalls.
Yes, she. So we're going to do that. So we're actually going to be up for that weekend. We'll be.
Does she have a bonnet to wear?
I'm going to say no, but I wouldn't be surprised if we showed up and she's like, "Wait, hold on, I'm going to get my bonnet." So yeah, she probably has one somewhere. But so we'll be doing that, and so that was kind of a fun little surprise that she's like, "We're doing this." I was like, "Perfect." So.
Fun.
That's
you
what we
have to dress in your prairie clothes too.
Photos,
suspenders.
I don't have
weird pants. Oh yeah, not yet. You don't. There's still time.
Dysentery.
But I'm not Paul. I'm sorry.
But you're gonna dress like you.
Okay, dress like Paul.
There you go.
It's more of an attitude. If you could dress the attitude, that would help a lot.
Yeah. You go. Yeah, I too have a very specific like connotation in my mind. If somebody says the word pizza party, I do think about like folding table. There's only 4 kinds of pizza,
thin crust,
and there's multiples of them, and they're stacked, right? So there's like a pepperoni, a cheese, a sausage, and a hamburger for some reason, because somehow that's different. I don't know. Like it's just there, and there's just like 4 of each one, and they're stacked up. And then on a table next to that, there's a bucket of ice, and then just like a random assortment of soda. And oftentimes it's not like good soda; it's like Sam's Choice orange and like Mr. Pibb, right? Like cool, or just like the generic like cola, right? Like, oh, cool. How fun is that?
Sweet.
They're like elementary school pizza party, and there might be like next to the drinks there could be a small assortment of cookies, possibly, but like that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so thankfully it was something that was much better than I anticipated. So I was definitely not disappointed.
Yeah. That's just like if somebody says pizza party, that is the image that comes to my head. Like, boom. Every time. Like, it's very specific, ingrained in my head from elementary school, right? Like, that's what it was. And when you're a kid, you're like super excited about it. But now when you kind of think about it, you're like, that was not great. Like, why? Okay.
Right. Like,
Neat.
Well, anyway. Sorry, I have been sucked into the cherryblossomfest.com website.
You're welcome.
Oh, as one does.
As one does. You can go back and you can view photos from the previous years. And so I clicked on 2006 because reasons. I don't know. I just clicked on it.
That's very previous.
Very previous. They have they have photos going all the way back to 2004. And in 2006,
wow.
These are just some of the luminaries that they had on there. They had
okay.
Mickey Carroll. You know who that is?
Nope.
No.
Carroll was one of the remaining Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz. He came and spoke.
What?
At the Blossom Festival. It gets even better. They had the grand nephew of President Richard Nixon, Devin Nixon, come and talk.
What?
They also had James.
Is he also not a crook? Was that?
You'd have to ask him. You'd also James Auchincloss, who was the half brother of Jackie Kennedy Onassis. And I think my favorite one. There's so many here. It's kind of ridiculous. My favorite one. We're talking about off brand. So to hear your off brand celebrities, and then my favorite one here is Leon Tyler, the grandson of President John Tyler.
Hey,
yo, that's crazy though. That's
crazy to think that John Tyler passed away in 1862, and his grandson came and gave a speech in 2006.
I think he has at least one still living grandson, possibly two. I can't remember if they're both still alive or not. But yes, he married somebody who was like way younger than him. Way younger. And I think he was like 80 something and he had like a real young wife. So it's like, I don't think it was his first wife either, like a second wife or something like that.
The reason these people were all there is because they had the presidential descendants participated in their first presidential forum at the theater. So they invited all of the descendants.
Why would you want like Jimmy Carter's cousin to come to the presidential forum? Like,
I don't know.
I don't understand why you do that. But so Aaron, are you going to drive all the way to Marshfield to see like guy who has read all the Laura Ingalls Wilder books? Is that what you guys?
No, so it's actually. Hold on, let me talk with my boss real quick about the events, and talk about yourself. I'll be right back. I want to give a good.
Okay, yes. Ask the expert here. Collin, while you are perusing this website, I need to know why on earth Marshfield has a cherry blossom festival.
I don't. You would think you'd have like a history of like why it's there.
Why?
I don't know, because it says
cherry blossom. For those our international friends, cherry blossoms not indigenous to Missouri. No good reason why there should be cherry blossoms in Marshfield.
I don't know. It says here in this tiny town, 1 weekend a year, meet celebrities, noted authors, humanitarians, presidential descendants, historical luminaries from all over the world. Why do they? It should be on everyone's bucket list. Why is it here? I think I'm going to have to.
First of all, Marshfield should be on no one's bucket list. Let's be perfectly clear here. Sorry, Marshfield, but like, no.
Marshfield is not on the bucket list. The Cherry Blossom Festival is on the bucket list.
Well, if the Cherry Blossom Festival is in Marshfield, therefore, Marshfield should be on your bucket list, which I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is untrue. I have never been to Marshfield and been like, man, what a glorious place this is. Right?
And I'm back.
Often when I was younger, I would say things like, man, I'm glad I don't live in Marshfield. Like, so.
So, yeah. So here's, Here's why.
Aaron's back.
Here's why. Ready for this?
what
Sorry,
are we
Aaron.
doing?
Aaron, I'm sure you.
I asked the question, why is there a cherry blossom fest in Marshfield?
I'm sure Aaron already knows this. However, apparently in 2003, Nicholas Inman worked in Washington, D.C. As an intern and fell in love with the cherry blossom. So when he
stole one
and came back to Marshfield and began planting them around the city in 2003 and 2004.
Which explains why the first one was in 2004.
Yes. And he got added by the Tree City USA committee, and
the what?
That they and they had each living Missouri first lady came and planted a tree that first year, and so that's why there's this Washington D.C. connection, because the cherry blossoms are in Washington D.C. So they have a big. That's why they have a connection to the president and stuff, and then it just kind of grew up from there. So they invite celebrities and things with ties to Missouri, on top of all of that.
All right.
Jerry
so
Jones,
in a couple years, the hosts of the O Brother podcast will be at the Marshfield Cherry Blossom.
Ready for this?
Hey,
I have a speech right
got
here.
him.
I'm like, okay. So Jerry Jones has flown in and planted a tree. Gene Carnahan,
yes, boo, Jerry.
Pat Wilson, Betty Hearns, John and Hilda Lane. I don't know who Dr. Edwin Hubble. Hubble telescope. Leslie Kays.
What? I don't know who Dr. Edwin Hubble is.
Well, it took me a minute because I was like, Hubble, that's a weird name. Oh, that's why. So yeah, they just started planting trees and invited people to plant them.
Interesting. All right,
so
Aaron.
So for hello, Collin, the part that I was gone for.
Yes.
So this one, and Allison Ingram, who played Nellie Olson in the Little House on the Prairie TV show, will be speaking. They'll be doing a cool little breakfast thing in memoriam. Apparently Randy Travis is going to be there, so
well, hey,
that's kind of cool. So yeah, Randy Travis will be there, and then
country music phenomenon Randy Travis.
Yes. Apparently he will not be singing, obviously, but his wife will be. So that's actually kind of cool. And then a few other kind of like miscellaneous. Yeah, again, some Missouri natives. But yeah, the lady that played one of the characters in Little House on the Prairie TV show will be there. And as we all know, or if you don't know, you are about to know that my girlfriend is absolutely obsessed with everything Wilder, and so she's even also trying to plan a trip up to South Dakota, where they have lived. The Wilder family back in the day. So
that is very prairie. So be ready for that.
We've already been to the homestead in Kansas, since it's actually not that far from us. We've been to the one there in Missouri, which actually growing up there, I had no idea.
Right?
Mansfield, yeah, I had no idea existed, and we only live like a few miles away from there. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I have a distinct memory of being a child and trying to go find it, and then Dad got lost, and then we gave up and came home. So like,
so in typical dad fashion, the first time Shelby met our father, we were having breakfast at one of the places in Marshfield, and he's like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah, Lords and Wilders, stuff is right down the road." And of course, Shelby very calmly was like, "Oh, that's amazing," which she didn't. And so Dad's like, "Yeah, you want to go?" And so yeah, we just went. And Dad's like, "Yeah, no, I know exactly where this place is at." And so he just took us on a whim. And we're like, "Oh, this is really cool," because I had no idea this existed.
Yeah, I seem to remember driving around a lot looking for it, and then like, I think we might have finally found it and been like, "Hey, that's it. It's closed. Let's go home." We didn't go like inside or anything. We just like drove by it and we're like, "There it is." Anyway,
yeah, it was really cool. Just to be able to like walk around like on the grounds and see like the different kind of like the houses that they built. So that was actually kind of a very neat experience. But I was like, "Oh, I had no idea this existed over here. Like I was completely oblivious to it."
Well, now you know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, learn something every day.
There you go.
But that kind of poses the question of the festival that Rogersville used to put on.
Yep.
Which was that the Sassafras Festival?
It was indeed.
Yeah.
At least the sassafras is a native tree to Missouri.
Yeah, get with it.
Yeah.
Steal it from the nation's capital, Mr. Inman.
Posers.
Come on. What are you doing?
But yeah, so that was I was trying to tell Shelby was like, yeah, we had the Sassafras Festival, and she just looked at me funny. I was like, no, it's actually really cool, and it always rained for some reason, but like, it's like really cool,
Hey, it could be worse. Nixa has sucker days. The fish.
Woo!
That's why. Is it Nixa or Ozark? I don't remember which one. They have sucker days. Yeah, but like the fish, like the sucker fish.
That's not
like
as
exciting candy. Like a weird bottom feeding fish. That
It's okay.
Aww. That's really sweet though.
Yeah.
Those festivals are a weird thing. Right? Like lots of little towns around this area have them. And they're just like a weird kind of period. They're all kind of the same and all kind of like, in my opinion, not great, and like lots of people go to them all the time, and I don't know why. And then it's like like there's like I said, like the Sucker Days thing. Like Seymour has like the apple thing. There's like apple cider involved. I seem to recall.
Yeah, I went to that one with me.
Like somewhere around here has apple butter making days, which is just that's a long one.
Yeah.
Love apple butter.
I mean, I do too, but that's a really long name for a festival.
Sure.
Like little tiny town fair things that happen, and there's always some kind of like weird one, and like I don't know. I've always thought they're really strange. I don't.
Well, I think yeah, it's uncanny how similar they are, but also how unique they are to that area too. Like it is this.
I guess it's true, but I mean, like they're similar in that like there's a craft booth and then more craft booths and then someone selling a hot dog and like there's some really janky ride thing and like
Great.
I don't know. It's not my scene, I guess, but like,
yeah, come on, Brandon.
I don't know. Neosho had one. We played at it one year, like our jazz band. Like we just set up and played on the corner for a while. Like
that's cool,
hanging out. Like
yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of weird, but it is like you're right. They're all kind of the same, but they have their different flavors. And I've been to a weird number of them, and I don't know why. Like.
Well, because
most of them are Dad's fault, I think. Most of them are Dad's fault because he's like, we're gonna go buy 5 gallons of apple cider. Like,
why
are
we doing
you
that?
Liked apple cider? What are we doing?
Like, 5 gallons of apple cider.
And didn't even know you liked apple cider. What's happening right now? Anyway, go do that. I
don't really, but there's a festival all about it, so
there's a festival, so we gotta go get it.
I don't know. Man.
So yes, we'll need a follow-up report about the Cherry Blossom Fest.
We could do
in Marshfield.
First ever live reporting of the of a festival on the show. So think about it. Schedule a call.
Or you could just tell us when you get back.
Yeah, that too. It'd be a lot easier.
You got to take notes.
Shelby would probably enjoy the time a little bit more if you weren't on the phone with us the whole time.
Yes, she would probably get mad with us. Let's not do that. Let's not make Shelby angry with us.
I'm going to start vlogging my experiences.
Yes.
So.
There you go.
What's up, guys? There you.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
There you go. Throw that on the Instagram page. Boom.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, Aaron, I will give you the login credit. You okay?
At least one live check-in. God damn it.
I am kind of all about this right now.
I've never done a vlog. There was one time where I was like, when the what is it called? When the quarantine stuff first happened, I started watching. I don't know, out of the boredom, watching like a lot of vloggers on YouTube, and I was like, I could probably do that. I sat down in my car. I was on the way to Starbucks or something, and I was like talking to my phone. I was like, "Oh God, this is terrible! Like, I would be awful at this."
No,
Like,
here's what you do: you just pretend that you're talking to us, and just tell us what's happening.
Yeah.
There you go. Short, real short. It doesn't have to be long. Short one. It'll be okay. I believe in you. It's gonna be great.
Oh, hey.
Well, I think it is time to move into our challenge for this week. Or 40 minutes into this. We should probably start.
There we go.
We proposed a challenge. I proposed a challenge, mostly to give us more time to do the other challenge that we're working on.
Yes,
but to do another good news episode, because the last good news episode that we did came out June 15th, and I think we recorded that like a month or two earlier than that. At that point,
yeah, at least a month before.
Yeah. So we wanted to do another good news episode because news is okay these days, but it's not like amazing. So
it's not wonderful.
Wonderful. So we thought we could do this and bring some more good news to people. So if you want to listen to the previous good news episode, it is good news. Go to overbrotherpodcast.com/episodes/news. You can listen to that one, and then you can jump to this one and be more gooder news. So, who would like to go first?
I mean, since you did the segue, you can do one first. That's good.
I will do one, and breaking rules immediately. It's actually two. It's 2 in 1, and it has.
Wow! Look at that, cheater!
But my good news is about statues, specifically some local statues. So, actually, back in June, weirdly enough.
Whoa!
So this is a weird tie-in. The World War I Doughboy Monument was vandalized and destroyed here in town, where they broke. It was erected in 1920, and they ripped out and broke the rifle that the Doughboy was carrying. It just was reinstalled 3 days ago. After going through extensive repairs and actually they redid a few portions of it as well. So that got installed. So that was really cool to see put up again. And the city has taken part in a traveling sculpture event or whatever. So we just had installed at our park, which is nigh 30 feet from my house, a statue called Gentle George. It's a metal statue made out of metal parts and car parts, and it's kind of got this face and it's human size, and he's up on this big pedestal. But multiple cities around the country are taking part of these traveling statues. So every year or so, they remove your existing one and they give you a new one, and that statue that you had goes on to another city. And they kind of travel around the United States.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, for 2
moving art exhibit, I suppose.
Yeah, it is a moving art exhibit. And I thought those are really cool because it's a little bit of whimsy, it's a little bit of fun, and I like that kind of thing. And then it was good to see the downtown statue get repaired and put back up. So statues, good news.
Hooray for statues. So I was looking around on news things, and I don't know if this counts as good news or not, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I was watching the new the Egyptian government has built a giant new museum, right? So they are it's called something crazy like the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. That's a mouthful. But it's really cool to so they're moving a lot of stuff out of the Museum of Cairo into this new museum, kind of on the site of another ancient capital, and while they're trying to build up everything. And so they moved a lot of the pharaoh mummies to the new museum. But they didn't really do it like low key at all. What they did was they had a gigantic parade of the golden pharaoh where they specially built 22 vehicles to resemble Egyptian barks that the pharaohs would have used in their original funeral procession and paraded them through Egypt. This massive parade.
Oh my gosh.
Their new homes at the new museum. So I just thought it was cool. Like,
these things are insane.
Yeah, right. It's nuts. So there's 22 pharaohs, including 4 of the female pharaohs or like royalty, that got paraded through the streets to go to this new museum. And like the whole spectacle is just insane. I watched the live stream thing and like just really crazy. Like, they're trying to promote tourism to Egypt again because, like, after this year, like, nobody went to go visit them. So, clearly. So they're just trying to remind people when traveling becomes available, like, hey, you can come to Egypt and see mummies. And they have this parade and festival about ancient Egyptian culture and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool. It's very interesting kind of deal. And I just thought it was neat. Like, I enjoyed watching that, most of it, anyway, and that kind of stuff. So that was one of my good things that I just like found randomly that happened. I was like, whoa, that's cool.
I am reading here that there's a 50% discount on museum admission until April 17th. So I think I know what.
Well, that's not that's a little too close. I don't know if I get. So there we go.
Okay, sweet.
There's my first one. Oh, another, I guess, mildly part 2. Personal good news, I suppose, is I got my second vaccine shot on Monday. So blam, there you go.
Ooh. Hey,
yay! All right, there we go. There's mine. Aaron, do you have any good news to share?
Aaron, you're muted.
And he's gone.
Sorry, I was sitting here munching away. How did you feel after your shot?
I felt fine.
Okay.
That was good. Susan had a mild reaction where she just kind of got like a light fever and just felt like blah. But she's good now. So I was fine. My arm was sore. Other than that, it was good.
Well, I'm trying to think. I kind of panicked on this one. Good news wise, so one of the biggest things for Shelby is that she teaches at a really nice private school in Tulsa. It's really prestigious, it's really fancy. And one of the big things that she was kind of worried about was, constantly, being afraid of not doing a good job, or all those evaluations that they talk about. And so for the longest time, they would be like, oh, hey, we'll schedule that end of the year meeting so we could, go over, all that kind of stuff. But they kept pushing it off because it's like, oh, well, we need you to substitute, or, oh, well, we need you to do this, and so finally today they was like, hey, it's time to do this, blah, blah, blah. And, after much deliberation, they're like, well, we're really excited to have you. So just get ready for next year. And that was kind of a huge sigh of relief for Shelby because she was like, oh, worried about, teaching next year. So that was kind of the biggest, relief for today. Of, didn't know if she was going to be back next year. And so thankfully that she will be, because that's something that she was been really excited for. And and all that stuff. So I was trying to look at for some world news. Besides the state of Oklahoma finally approving Bigfoot hunting.
Did they really ever?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they did. I haven't really checked like super update on it, but other than that, the Martin Scorsese Killers of the Flower Moon movie has started doing like on location kind of stuff. Apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio has been seen in Pahaska, and
oh, really?
Apparently, yeah, they've been doing like review settings. You know, they've been getting like all the logistics down and staying. Yeah. He's apparently staying in some Airbnb there, which you know is actually really cool for Pahaska because you know even though it already gets like an insane amount of tourism in from the Drummond Pioneer Woman. Yeah. Excuse me. Stuff like that. That's another just a big win for small town Oklahoma. So
well, it's actually just a big win that they're filming that movie in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised that Martin Scorsese would do that, but that is really cool because a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's totally Oklahoma."
Well, because there was that one movie that True Grit movie. It's like, oh yes, this takes place like in Oklahoma. They shot it like in New Mexico. Like
yeah,
like
close enough.
On. Yeah, so that's really cool as far as Oklahoma.
Oh, that's cool.
Wise,
I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know that they were going to shoot that on location. I just heard that was something they were going to be doing. Maybe.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. It's on location. That's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they started doing that. Every time I'm in Pahaska, I kind of do like a little drive around, and they're like, "Oh, I haven't seen him." And of course, I leave for a week, and they're like, "Dude, Martin Scorsese was eating like breakfast here." I'm like, "Oh, come on now."
I was there yesterday. Take it.
So that
we'll keep an eye out.
When I was eating.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I guess
I was there." Don't you know I'm a podcast host? I was eating there too. It's fine.
As famous, but yeah. So they're doing that. So that's actually really exciting. I'm really excited for what the brings. Cool. I love the book that you and the Susan got me for Christmas. I was actually wanting to read it again because it's actually like really fascinating.
Yeah.
And if you for those listeners out there, if you want like a really good read, Killers of the Flower Moon. But then everyone I talked to in Pahaska is like, no, if you want like the real stuff, you need like to read like the FBI files. I'm like, no, because
it's a bit dense.
Those are like thousands of pages. This is like 200 something. Like, why would I waste the time? So yeah.
So maybe start with the book, and then if you become ensnared, then graduate to the official documents.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It was good.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. There we go. We'll come back. We'll give you some time to peek around and think about some more. We'll give Collin another chance here.
My second one. Good news. The 2021 Dacia Sandero won the What Car YouTube video Car of the Year.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What? Hooray, Romania! Yay! There you go.
YouTube channels are so ridiculous because their names are so odd. This YouTube channel's name is actually What Car with a question mark. So it's What Car? And they named the Dacia Sandero their 2021 Car of the Year, which is odd because it's only April.
That person is definitely not Romanian, 100%, or James May. It might just be James May, secret YouTube channel. And it's just
something that I learned is that the Sandero has been the best-selling retail car, and I'm not exactly sure about what means retail. I think that means like
retail car.
Retail car of like you could buy it on a car lot is what I think that they're meaning there of like versus like a higher end model or like whatever. It's been the
Like
best.
not like a special situation thing, maybe.
I think best-selling retail car
Perhaps.
in Europe since 2017, and over 2 million of them have been sold since 2004. So
wow. James May selling cars. Look at that. His recommendations go a long way. Wow. Who knew?
That's my good news. Gotta stay on brand here. Anyway. Brandon, what's your story?
Okay. Let's see. Next on my list that I wrote down of maybe too many. I have 4, so we can come back around. I just saw this. This was a new. Well, these were things I thought were interesting this week, and the last one is important. Okay. This is just like a happy news story that I saw. Like I was reading, it was reported by CNN, and it wasn't like doom and gloom. So I clicked on it. There was a first grader in Arkansas who was working on. They were talking about persuasive writing. So she wrote a letter to Old Navy that was basically like, "Yo, I like your clothes, but why do the girls' pants not have pockets in them? I like to put my hands in my pockets, and I like to carry stuff. Why is there no pockets in the pants?" And Old Navy just wrote her back and was like, "Hey, thanks for your suggestion. We really appreciate this. We're going to give this to our research people," and sent her 4 pairs of pants with pockets in it. Blam.
I love that.
So I was just like, all right, there we go. That's
how you do.
That's how you do it, right? Just ask. Boom. Done. So this made me giggle. I like that one. Made me smile. So there's my second round of good news there. That was just kind of a fun, nice story that happened. Yeah. So
I like that.
Aaron, do you find another one, or do you want me to hit you with this next one?
Well, I don't know if this counts or constitutes as good news. I literally clicked on.
Do you think it's good? Yeah. And is it not sad? That's the 2 hilarious qualities.
Yeah. So,
all right, perfect.
Where is it? Hold on, I gotta scroll back down here and find it. So on one of the channels that I follow on Instagram, the headline literally says Mexico's lucha libre wrestlers help fight COVID-19. These pro wrestlers have been recruited to help fight COVID-19 in Mexico. They literally travel around and help people with masks. And
yes,
I did not get a chance to read the rest of it, but it's just showing a video of
that's all you need.
Lucha Libre wrestlers walking around like the city streets, like helping people like put on masks or stuff like that. And I was like, I want to click on it, but I don't want the sound to pop up and disrupt what we're doing.
But you do want to click on it because
so I might go dark here shortly. But it was just
fine. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, that made me happy.
Yeah.
So yes. So yeah, you can go ahead and skip me until.
All right, no, that's good. Collin, you got any more?
I do have one that I just found interesting. This is my last one here. That this was pretty recent. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a few days ago. It was released. Researchers used a grand total of something like 2,000 microphones, 12 high-speed cameras, and 6 pressure plates to listen to the wing beats of a hummingbird to figure out why they hummed. Because they were like, what exactly is causing the humming of a hummingbird? Where is that coming from? How is that being generated? And they found that the wings are shaped such that they are constantly generating a large amount of upward pressure, even on the downstroke. And, and that the speed at which they're beating makes that thrumming, because they beat basically the lift that they're beating is generated even on the downstroke, and because they have basically twice the uplift per wing beat, because when they beat down, they're also generating uplift, and when they beat up, they're also generating uplift. It's that double drumming, basically, that twice per wing beat of that's creating that sound pocket that's making the humming sound. So and insects kind of do the same thing, I guess. But what's interesting is that teams immediately were like, you know what, we can use this to make fans quieter in your house. And I was like, huh?
What? That's crazy. I mean, I figured it did have something to do with the speed because, let's be real, how would it not? But that's wild. They generate that much force even on the going the wrong way stroke.
Yeah, so it has to do with the pressure difference that's constantly being generated with each, twice per wing beat that's making that drumming sound. I was like, huh.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It'd be one heck of a fan, right? Like, honestly, what does that look like when they
and they did talk about like, well, obviously if you are in aviation, you're thinking, my helicopter's kind of noisy.
Oh yeah.
Or, my drone that I'm flying is also insanely noisy. So how can we shape the wings and how can we generate different pressures to almost offset that so it's not constant?
Yeah.
It's this constant beat that's making it
do that. Whoa. Yeah. That's cool. Man. All right. There we go.
Anyway.
My next to last one here is the I just saw this today, so I just snuck it on my list. This is the there were some researchers in France, and somebody in like 1900 found this like stone with like some drawings on it. And because it was like the early 1900s, they were like, oh, that's cool. Anyway, and they kind of like stuck it somewhere, and then it got lost. And so some people recently refound it. And because they were curious, they read some documents about it and like, wait, what's that? Hold on. And so they went looking for it. They found it again somewhere. They like got moved and was like in some weird, impossibly hard location to find, I guess, whatever. But they think what this stone is quite possibly the world's first 3D map of a river system in Brittany, France. This map is currently dated to the Bronze Age, sometime between 1900 and 1650 BC.
What?
Is when it was made. And it very seemingly very accurately depicts a river valley region in Brittany, France, in 3 dimensions, sort of carved into this rock with like little circles and lines and stuff, sort of depicting the terrain. So it's basically a 3D topographical map that looks like it was most likely constructed in the Bronze Age, which is awesome.
How? My gosh, think of the... I don't know. What? Like how that was even...
Yeah. It looks like it's sort of like carved, like it's kind of a flat stone and it's like carved down into it to kind of mimic how everything looks. It's wild though. It's really cool. And if that's what they think it is. Again, this is like current hypothesis. They're not like 100% sure, obviously, but that's what it appears to be. And that's just really cool that Bronze Age people would like, we don't give people of that time era a lot of credit, especially people not in places named Greece or Rome.
Right. Yeah.
Like random people in Brittany, that kind of stuff. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm pretty interested to see where that one goes. See if I can find more about that later once I do some more research, because that was pretty new. Like I said, I read that today. I was like, oh, I'm gonna write that down because that's all. So there we go. Brief.
Okay. Aaron, do you have one more?
Nice. Gone again.
Okay.
If not, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because we only said 2, but I overachieved again because I was just like, oh, I can't decide which one to write down. All of them. Yes. Perfect.
That's fine. Yeah. Why don't you round us out? Aaron, did you have one? Sorry.
My headphones disconnected, so I've been scrambling the whole time.
That's right. Sorry.
So I did not. I was unable to find another one for follow up.
You're okay.
No worries.
Right Right.
Here's the last one.
Okay.
And I saved this one for last because this one is important. On October the 19th, the publishing company, I can't forget which publishing company. I forgot to write that part down. Maybe I'll write that down later. On October 19th will be released a version of the Lord of the Rings book series that for the first time will contain original artwork by Mr. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So he did illustrate a lot of stuff for those books, but it was never published anywhere in the book forms. Some of it got published later, the maps and stuff, obviously, but apparently there are a lot more illustrations that go in there. So in October, apparently the plan is to release the set that contains his original illustrations that he made while he was writing that book. And that sounds cool, and I kind of want it. So,
oh yeah, no, I love that so much. The fact that he was not only writing the stories but drawing things to go along with it, probably to, I don't know, like as a writer to help out the process or just to flush out some ideas a little more. I don't know if he would ever thought they would have been published, but that's really cool.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be cool. I hope it is, because there's like 75,000 different versions of the series that you can buy, right? With all different, like, there's a bunch of cool ones with like random things, and like there's some with the maps, and there's some with like the original dust jackets that they reprinted, and those ones look sweet, by the way. But they're so good. But like, and then there's one set with like the original planned dust jacket, but like the one that got changed something else, but then they re-released it recently in like a modern version, and it looks great. But this one, just I thought was cool that they would be his actual illustrations accompanying his work for the first time. So
it's kind of
we'll see if I remember that in October. So I have to bookmark that somewhere.
I would just set a reminder in your
because that sounds cool.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool, and I kind of want to check it out just because it'd be kind of neat to have. Right, we have a set. We already have those books in the living room, but like, they have art in it, so that'd be neat, right?
Well, it's kind of like when an author does their own audio version, right? Like audio.
Oh yeah,
right. Like it just gives you a little bit more of what they're thinking, what intonation or timbre they had for somebody saying something, or how there's a little bit more interpretation, I feel like. But I like it.
Yeah. So I just thought that was neat and interesting news that you might like to know about, because we much
for sure
throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Gooder news.
So yeah, there you go.
Okay. My favorite part of these episodes is me trying to frantically do a quick Google search while you are talking and do the shortest amount of keystrokes possible to get to the end result, so I can add that to the note. So it's
fine, it's perfect.
Like, what if I could distill this information down to find an article about this? What would I type right now? Anyway, no, I liked all of those very, very much. Thank you for contributing and making that part of the Good News Show. I always like these.
Welcome.
Fun.
There you go. Side note, in case you didn't get my text, the other important news is that you need to watch that Russian Lord of the Rings version that got released.
Yeah.
Because we've got to talk about that. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah.
It's painful and it might hurt you, but you need to at least watch part of it.
Yeah.
Because we have got to talk about Soviet Frodo. Okay. It's important.
I don't think we need.
Well, where do I find that to watch?
I sent him in
It's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's Soviet. We'll talk more in detail about that later. You need to watch at least part of that at some point in the future because we've got to talk about it.
Yeah. I resent the link that you sent us, Brandon, in our super secret channel.
Okay.
Aaron. So that should come through in just a moment. But yes, listeners.
Oh, man.
It is real.
Or just Google Russian Lord of the Rings and you'll find it. It's everywhere.
Yeah. There's not very many of those. And oh, man, it is a trip.
It is. It might
made it
hurt your eyes a little bit.
Oh, well, and every senses. It's an assault on the senses and sensibilities. But it is definitely a thing that was done, and it's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to watch at least pieces of it because we got to talk about that at some point in the future.
Okay, we'll add that to the list. I like that. That'll be a challenge from now or something. Is discussed review.
Yeah, because we got something for next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So much to do. Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
Okay, homework and homework.
Homework.
Such a teacher.
All right.
Okay.
That's true. All right, so I'll get on my homework for next week.
Yes.
And try to find something interesting for there.
Yes. Likewise.
Should we at least share a title with each other so we don't accidentally watch the same movie?
Yes. I mean,
probably.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll share titles.
All right. Whatever I find. Okay, so I'll just text you whatever I'm going to watch. All right.
Yes, whatever you are going to watch, so we know not to watch that.
Perfect.
Okay. Sounds good, you guys. Yes. Love you.
I love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.